Let's go outside of the kitchen. Cheers. Oh. Hello. Welcome back to Gaga's kitchen. So today we will be getting ready for girls' night. And I am in charge of preparing a fresh corn salsa. But before I get started, I'm just going to chop up this honeydew that I bought at Sprouts the other day. And all you honeydew haters out there, you know who you are. Just give it another chance because it's good. Voila! I actually bought this honeydew about a week ago and I haven't had a chance to eat it yet because I've been working my way through a watermelon, which takes a while to do because watermelons are pretty big. So I'm just going to actually cut, I like to have fresh cut fruit so that when I'm ready to eat, it's already ready to go. So I'm just going to cut half of this now and I'll wrap up the other half and cut it in a few days once I make it through this. But yeah, I was in a wedding recently, my friend Devin's wedding, and if you've never been in a wedding before, it's so fabulous because we got to stay in Memphis at the Peabody Hotel in the bridal suite, and that morning while we were all getting pampered, we were getting our makeup and our hair done, they brought us up room service of this beautiful fruit platter with like literally the best muffins I've ever had in my life. Muffins and fruit and all these things. And I noticed that nobody was going for the honeydew, so I mentioned something about that. Oh! Ow! Alright. You should always be careful when you're cutting with a sharp knife, so you don't do what I did. The camera got a little distracting, sorry. Anywho, it's not a bad cut, so we're good. But yeah, so I noticed that nobody was eating the honeydew, so I said something and everybody made fun of me that I like the honeydew because they're like, Gabby, no one likes honeydew. Well, you know what, guys? I like honeydew and a lot of people out there like it too. And it's delicious. So I don't care what you guys say. I think you should all eat some more honeydew. And then the other day when I bought this, I actually sent a picture to the group because we have a Snapchat group between all the bridesmaids. And I sent a picture to the group that I had bought a honeydew. And of course, the bride sends back a chat saying, was it on sale? Well, you know what, Devin? It was on sale. And I'm happy it was on sale because now I get to eat more honeydew. So that's all I have to say about honeydew. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. This is really just a little intro because what we'll be doing is we're getting to the main course of the show, which is going to be the corn salsa that I will be making. I found the recipe on one of my favorite blogs. It's called Cookie and Kate. Cookie is the blogger and Kate is the dog. Cookie is the dog. And all of her recipes are vegetarian, which I really like. And then on each one of her recipes, she'll specify also if it's gluten-free or vegan also, or how you could make it gluten-free or vegan. So this specific recipe is naturally gluten-free and vegan, so it'll be great. And I love it that I feel like more people are starting to eat more veggies because the other girls who are going to be at the dinner, they're bringing some salads and some zoodles, which will be good, and then we're just gonna have a wine and game night, so with some of my good girlfriends. So yeah. Okay, just need a lid to put on the cantaloupe, and then we're gonna get cooking on the main bit. Okay, so for this recipe, as you can see, I already have some of the ingredients set out on the counter since I went to the grocery store the other day. Everything, I went to Trader Joe's. I spent like $30 for like a whole week's worth of groceries. It was great. So first things first, the corn. Obviously you need corn for a corn salsa. So we are going to use 4 shucks of corn. You could also use canned corn, but since corn is in season, why wouldn't we use the regular stuff, right? So then we're also going to do some red onion in there. And then as well, the recipe calls for avocado as optional, but like, is avocado ever really optional? If, you know, avocado makes everything better. So we're definitely going to add some avocado in there. And then let's see, I'm totally looking at my phone right now because I can't remember everything. So we need some cilantro and lime juice also. So I just got some cilantro, and I already had this bottled lime juice, so that's what I'm going to use instead. You could obviously use fresh limes, but I like this stuff. It's really just 100% fresh lime juice. There's no additives or anything, so it's the same pretty much. So then we also need white wine vinegar, which I don't think I have. This is where, you know, we're going to change up the recipe a little bit, probably, because it wouldn't be Gaga's Kitchen. I can't just copy something completely from a recipe. So we have red wine vinegar, and I also have sesame vinegar, or what's it called? Rice wine vinegar. I don't know. I'm gonna smell them both and see what we think would taste better in a salsa. So let's do the test. Well, I don't know. Smell the other one. I don't know. You know what? I feel like I should use. Let me smell this one more time. I think I'm gonna use the rice wine vinegar, and it's white, so it's the same, or it's yellow. The same color. So all right, we're gonna use rice wine vinegar, and then we are also going to use, the recipe calls for some jalapeno, but anytime the recipe calls for jalapeno, I always omit the jalapeno because I do not like chopping jalapenos. It makes my eyes burn, it makes my fingers burn, it makes me sneeze. I'm also partially allergic to jalapeno, like especially the fresh kind. Sometimes makes my mouth break out. So we're just going to leave out the jalapeno, but you guys feel free to add it in if that's what you want. We also need some chili powder, which I have on this spice rack right here. So we got some chili powder and some ground cumin, which I have right here. And then we're also going to use some fresh sea salt. And that's it. So these are all the ingredients right here. And as you can see, everything's really simple, fresh, healthy, it's vegan, it's gluten-free, it's gonna be delicious. Everything is pretty much in season and it's gonna be great. So let's get cooking. So the first step now is to shuck the corn, and the recipe says, it doesn't say anything about cooking the corn, it just calls for raw sweet corn. But I think I'm actually going to cook it on the stove for a few minutes. I think that when you do that, it just brings out the flavor of the corn a little bit more, as otherwise, you know, as opposed to just doing it raw. But it's totally up to you how you want to do it. So I'm just going to basically shuck the corn and then cut all of it off the cob and put it into this bowl for now. So yeah. Shucking corn always brings me back to memories of my family going to Lake Michigan every summer. We would go, the corn up there is like ridiculous. I never liked corn growing up, except for when we would go to Michigan. And we would go have bonfires on the beach and cook the corn in the husk still over like an open bonfire flame on the beach at night. It was so much fun. I have so many memories of doing that. Usually we still go every summer, but unfortunately this summer with my move coming up, I'm moving to New York. I don't have the time to go. So I know I'll be looking forward to doing that next summer. So just be careful not to cut your finger off when you're doing this. And then when you're taking the kernels off, basically what you want to do, you just want to place it into the bowl and then just shave it off all the way around. And if you guys want, because I know it might be easier, I can always leave a link down below for the official recipe if you guys want to take a look at it. Or the recipe that I'm following, obviously I'm changing it up a little bit, but if you want the recipe from Cooking Kate, I literally love her. I've never made a recipe from her blog that I didn't love. So, and they're always crowd pleasers. Hence why I'm bringing it to girls' night. And actually, my friend Audrey, she was making fun of me yesterday when I told her I was bringing corn. She's like, ew, corn. I'm like, just wait, girl. Just wait. Just wait. So yeah, just shuck, shuck, shuck. Look, this corn is not the best. Has a lot of rotting parts on it. Alright, last one. And if anyone's ever been to Michigan, you will just see that there are miles and miles and miles of just cornfields everywhere. It's pretty cool. My family will just go drive around and get lost, and we call, there's this one road that goes forever, and we call it the road to nowhere. Oh my gosh. There we go. Alright, last one. Alright, now I'm just gonna throw all this in the garbage. We like to clean as we go. Okay, so I actually decided I'm not gonna cook the corn. Actually, you know what? I am gonna cook the corn. It's gonna be better. I was thinking about not doing it because I'm running a little behind and I'm always late to girls' night, but it's going to be worth it for the flavor. So just going to pour that in here, and I'm just going to cook it for like 5 minutes or so, basically till it just sizzles a little bit, and it's just basically going to let the flavors of the corn really come out of their shell. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And basically I'm just gonna let it sit like this now for a minute. So you hear it cooking. Let it just basically char the outside for a minute. And then once it's been doing that for about a minute or so, then I'll stir it up again. You see how it's turning a brighter colored yellow? So it's really going to let the sweetness come out. I think it's definitely worth it to just take the couple extra minutes to do this. It's just going to make your salsa. And also, because the corn's going to be warm now, all the other flavors are really going to bind to it more, too. It's going to absorb all the flavor. So, it's going to be great. But honestly, seems about good. So I'm just going to turn that off. And then we're going to transfer it to the bowl. Just going to transfer this to the bowl. And then I'm going to let this pan soak so it's easier to clean. But this is a really good, well, it says non-stick, not sticking, but this pan is pretty easy to clean because it's non-stick. Ready? Next up, we're going to add 1 cup of red onion, or about half of a medium red onion. So I'm just going to dice this up finely. Honestly, I'm having difficulty because I'm trying to wrap up my finger while I cut everything. Should probably just put a Band-Aid on, but I don't know where they are. So, oh, that's a strong smelling onion. So it's gonna be really good in the salsa. So I'm just gonna cut this in half and then I'll save the other half. So I'm just gonna finely dice this. And then I'm gonna use a different knife. This one. I think this is probably a better knife. Yep. Already having an easier time. So I'm gonna finely dice this up. Ooh, and my eyes are starting to burn. Usually I'll wear sunglasses when I'm doing this because it actually helps, but I'm braving it out. I'm braving the storm today. And I'm just gonna dice all this up. All right, cool. So this is all gonna go in with the corn. And basically, just to give you guys a little sneak preview of how this is gonna end, we're basically just gonna add each one of those ingredients that I went over earlier to the bowl and mix it up and call it a day. And that's how you make salsa. Oh my gosh, whew. Ugh. This is not okay. Oh my gosh, my eyes are literally burning. I'm trying to tough it out, guys, but it's so hard. Oh. Ow. I probably should have just worn the sunglasses. Hold on. Alright, much better. So, I should have just done that to begin with. But yeah, I usually, in case anybody's ever been wondering, the trick, wear sunglasses, or if you wear glasses already, then wear glasses. Wear some kind of protection over your eyes, and I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference because the juices can't get in as easily. So I'm just mixing this up, separating all the onion pieces. So then I'm just gonna put the other onion in a Ziploc bag and stick it in the fridge for later use. Next, we're gonna dice an avocado and add it to the bowl. And I went ahead and rinsed the cutting board. I rinsed all the knives that I was using, but I'm keeping my sunglasses on for now because I can still feel those onion juices in the air. So anyway, so like I said earlier, this part is optional, but we're going to obviously include it because avocado is life, and we gotta, get those healthy fats in. So I'm just gonna chop this. And I'll just cut off these brown bits, but a little brown never really hurt anyone. Might just be a little bit mushier, but I'm gonna add this in. If you were planning on making this salsa for the next day, as opposed to like serving it that night, I would suggest not adding the avocado until the day that you're gonna eat it, because then it might get a little brown. The lime juice in the salsa will prevent it from totally becoming brown, but if you know that you want it the next day, just wait a day. Be patient, guys, okay? You don't have to put the avocado in right then. I'm just chopping off these little brown bits. So a funny story about corn. When I was in college, my girlfriends and I would get together, just like what we're doing tonight, all the time, and we would all kind of just combine, whatever we had at our houses to make dinner together at somebody, we would switch off houses. And every single night, my friend Kristen, she would text me saying, we would go over a list of everything that we have, and she would always text me saying, well, I have corn. and we never ate the corn. And she had this can of corn in her pantry for literally like 2 years in college, and I don't think we ever cooked it. And it just actually, I thought of that yesterday when I called my friend and told her I was coming over tonight and told her that I was bringing corn. And so, you know what? Back in the days when we were in college, we totally could have made a corn salsa to munch on while we were cooking the rest of the meal, and we never even thought of that. So, you know, you live and you learn. But basically, now we know. So corn is good. But it was funny because Audrey texted the group and said, you know, hey, I'm bringing zoodles and Gabby's bringing corn. And it just made me laugh. Because I'm bringing more than corn. I'm bringing corn with all this other stuff in there. And even if I was just bringing corn, corn is great. Corn is corn. Alright, I'm going to stop talking about corn. Okay. And now I'm just going to gently fold in the avocado because I don't want to smush it, but I just want to make sure it's all evenly spread out through there. This is going to be so good. So good. Okay, sunglasses have finally come off. I feel like the onion juice has left the air a little bit. So we're going to add cilantro now. And no salsa is ever complete without cilantro. So I'm just going to give this a little quick rinse. And then the recipe says about half a cup of cilantro or about a small bunch. I think that looks like about a small bunch. So we'll just add that. You know, with certain things, you know, with baking and things like that, you always want to make sure you measure, because baking, if the amount is off even in the slightest bit, you mess up the whole recipe. But with cooking, and especially, this isn't even really cooking, I mean, it's pretty much just assembling. With recipes like this, you have a little bit more free range to just kind of, if it's not the precise measurement, it's still going to be okay. So don't stress out about that. I know when I first started cooking and I would follow recipes, I would stress myself out trying to follow a recipe exactly, and it never turned out well because it's hard to follow a recipe completely. So, you know, that being said, I think it's good to follow recipes, but you also have to do what works for you. So I'm just going to finely chop the cilantro and add it to the bowl. Alright, and like we did, as per usual, we're going to mix this all together. And I just love this, watching this come together step by step, you know? It's pretty cool. Alright, I also can't wait to eat this. Okay. Alright, putting the cilantro back. So now we're going to do the part that makes salsa salsa, salsa salsa, salsa salsa, salsa salsa. We're going to add some lime juice. So we're going to do a 1/4 cup of lime juice, or about 2 limes. So obviously, like I told you before, I'm using this. So just make sure if you're using pre-squeezed lime juice that you're using lime juice not from concentrate. It doesn't have any added sugars. It's not like margarita mix or something. You want to make sure that it's real lime juice. And then we're going to do our salsa dance, mixing this all together. Oh my goodness, it's really starting to look delicious. It smells really good too. It's just crazy how you don't even have to cook. You know, we didn't barely cook anything in here, and all the flavors are just smelling so good. Now we are going to add 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. The recipe, like I said earlier, calls for white wine vinegar, but you know, sometimes it's like you don't want to buy a whole thing of vinegar when you already have another kind of vinegar. So I think it's going to be fine. Vinegar is vinegar in my choice, in my words. You know, I had apple cider vinegar I could have used too, but okay, this is cool. It smells fine. 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder now. And the smallest measurement I have is a 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm just going to do half of that to get a 1/4 teaspoon. This is definitely going to add a little kick to it. And then we're also going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, which I'm grabbing right now. 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. Which is also going to add a nice little flavor. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which I'm just going to eyeball. Oh shoot, this thing is old and it always wants to fall off. Okay, here we go. Have to just be careful. I'm not trying to make this too salty. Alright. That's about right. Then I'm just going to mix everything together, and then the salsa is ready after that. Now look how delicious that looks. Okay. I'm trying to see if I have anything to dip with, and it appears that I do not. So, let's see if there's anything in here to dip with. Well, it's okay. I'll just try it with a spoon for now. This is the part now where I get to taste it, and then I'm also going to bring you guys to ladies' night with me just to see how everyone else's reactions are, but we'll get my first reaction. This is a really big spoon. Look at that. Look how delicious that looks. Wow. This is what I'm telling you. I have never been disappointed by one of her recipes. Cookie and cake. That is so good. Like, way better than I even expected. This is gonna be a huge hit. And obviously we'll have stuff to dip with at girls' night, but wow. That's good. Okay, now I just need a container to take it to go, and a smaller container to take it to go, and then basically all I'm going to do after that is I'm going to either find out if she has something to dip it in, or I'll have to go pick some stuff up on the way, and then I'll get ready for girls' night. How do you feel about honeydew?
I love honeydew.
All right, so here we are live at girls' night in Gaga's kitchen. So
This is my kitchen.
yeah, but Gaga's kitchen goes wherever Gaga is.
Okay,
So
look at this. Good boy.
and there's Paisley. So Grace, you want to try the salsa?
Yeah, again. It's great. Oh, you want me?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never had this before. It is really good. That's terrific.
But honestly, they loved it the first bite, and it's delicious. So
It's really good.
yeah.
It's really good.
So you know, here in Gaga's kitchen, we're all about adventure. So we're all about trying something new.
Other way.
Oh wait. So we're trying.